Greetings and good day, YouTube and Twitch highlight watchers. How are you doing today? I myself am pretty excited to do something a little bit different. Behind me, as you can see, I have my green screen. I have the effect turned off, so it's actually not doing a green screen thing. If you notice it moving, that's because I got a fan turned on, and the fan's blowing the green screen a little bit. That's why sometimes you'll see me look back there to see if, like, look at this, or Alt-Tab whatever to see if this is messed up. Anyways, that's not what the important part is about. The important part is today, as you saw from the title, we're going to be sewing, right? And I think this is a skill that everyone should get a hold of. So I'm figuring, well, we're going to make like a little bit of a tutorial type thing, right? I don't need this on right now because I'm not playing the music yet. I'm going to turn some music on momentarily while we get into it. I just wanted to explain what I'm doing here. These are my work pants, right? I have a couple pairs of work pants, but as you can see, over here on the left leg, we've got a massive hole to deal with, right? So we're going to go through... This is not going to be like a comprehensive tutorial, like step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm just going to show you how I figured out how to sew stuff. Basically, I picked up a pair of ripped pants. You got to turn it inside out, first of all, right? You got to turn the plate inside out before you do your sew. Now, of course, we want to get a similar color to what's going on, but due to the fact that I don't really mind if these pants look sewn or not, because once again, these are work pants, I'm going to take my little kit. It's a jumbled mess, but it's my sewing kit. And we are going to get this blue. Any blue would have worked. Hell, I even would use green if I didn't have blue. But because I do have a color that's close to that blue, we'll use it. Okay? Now, they have all these different tools and stuff in here, like you can use like thimbles and stuff. Did you know, like thimbles, what they're actually used for is to help push the needle into the cloth that you're trying to sew. For some reason this one has tape on it. I don't know why. Give me a second to get off. This is probably going to take like a half hour to do, in all honesty, right? This is like, when you sew something, it's not the lengthiest process, but you do have to get ready to sit down and be like, oh, there's another rip in here too. I'll have to get both those fixed. I'm glad I did this today. So, like I said, we are going to be taking our needle, which might be a little bit hard to see, and we put that in our mouth right there. Don't recommend doing that. You need to have some kind of like cushion, pin cushion. I have one right here on the thing that I could use, right? But I'm dumb when it comes to using that stuff, so we're just gonna use the thing itself. So yeah, don't want to do that. And we're gonna get ourselves a thing of thread, right? About arm and a half length, right? Normally I'd have a pair of scissors, but I'm just gonna pull it, break it that way. Wet the end so it doesn't, like, so it'll actually go through the pinhead or whatever. And then there we go there. So in order to actually sew it properly, we want to make sure that both pieces of thread are equal in length, and we want to do a tie of them. We want to tie them off because that is going to be our like stopping point. Now I'm just going to do like a knot or two kind of a thing. All right. And you do a knot or two so when you sew it, it doesn't slip through, because it obviously wouldn't start to sew that way. And there we go, as you can see right there. Maybe you can't see right there, but it's a little knot, right? So now all we need to do is start the sewing process, which, like, it's one of those things where you got to pick an end to start at, right? And you basically might have to do like sections. Like you can't, you're probably not gonna be able to sew the entire thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew this first, right? And then I'll sew this here, and then we'll go from there, right? I'll probably be stood up most of the time, and you won't really be able to see much of my face, but you'll hear me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into the sewing process and kind of start like getting into focus mode, and as well as turn the music on so we have something to listen to while I do this, right? Because I'm not going to be really talkative right now. Holding it like so. And then like if it gets stuck, you want to use the thimble, push it, right? And because of our knot, it's hard to pull out. And I'm doing a wave pattern. You want to sometimes keep a little bit of a loop, right? So why you want to keep a little bit of a loop is you want to put your needle through that loop every once in a while, help the structural stability of your sew. And as you can see, or maybe you can't see, this is the loop that I'm talking about when I say use that one, right? It goes like this, it goes down, and you want, like, obviously you don't put your finger in there every time, or any time really. You just do it naturally, stop, and then you put your needle through, like so. Make sure it's all the way through. Maybe do that, make sure it's good, start to do that. When it starts moving, you want to put it through like so. And that'll help the structural stability of your sew job. Right? Like I said, this isn't going to be the most comprehensive of tutorial type things. This is more like, I don't know how to explain it, but basically the tutorial for somebody who doesn't really mind too much if it looks like a professional did it or not, right? One of those things where you just want to get it done and get back to work as soon as possible, right? The other way you could sew it, instead of the little wave, which is you go back and forth like this, is the circle sew, which, whoops, goes up, around, down, in, up, around, down, in, up, around, down, in. My thimble fell.
We've got some seriously delicious news to share. Truly Hard Seltzer's best flavors just got even better because now they're made with real fruit juice. That's right, from real pineapple to real strawberry and everything in between. Each can of Truly is made with real fruit juice for a really refreshing hint of flavor in every sip. Wow, they weren't kidding. Grab yours at trulyhardseltzer.com and do it for the flavor. Truly Hard Seltzer with juice from concentrate and with other natural flavors. Truly Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly.
look at you, listening to Spotify while you do whatever it is you're doing. That's exactly why it makes sense to promote your business here. Yeah, your business. Whether you have 2 employees or 2,000, your voice can reach as broad or as narrow of an audience as you need, and connect with them where visual media can't. Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner to learn more.
That's a pretty good advertisement if you think about it. They're appealing to the idea that auditory advertisements are a little bit more personal, and they kind of are if you really think about it, because their voice is coming directly into your ears instead of from a distance like how a TV is. After we finish up with this first part, I'll flip the jeans back around and show off exactly how they look. Alright, we'll see how well of a job we did. And I'm going pretty fast, right? Because I've done sewing, but like I've sewed quite a couple of things in the past. And I have experience doing it, and because I have experience doing it, I know like exactly where I'm putting my needle and all that at all times. So there we go. Alright. And I don't want to be doing this all day, like I said. This is probably going to be a 30-minute job. Probably a little bit longer than that, in all honesty. Like I said, I kind of get into focus mode when I do this. I'm trying not to do too big of a gap here, but it's starting to get away from me a little bit. Like I said, this is not going to be a professional job. This is like the type of sew that you're going to see on like, I got a pair of work pants, they're a good pair of pants, but because they're ripped, I can't really wear them work anymore. Like if you go out and about and work on roofs or air conditioning or restaurant equipment and stuff like that, and you need a pair of good sturdy pants, well, this is a nice way to make them last just that much longer, right? And sure, if you're like me, you probably have quite a few pairs of jeans, right? But if you're stubborn and are like, I've had these for so long and I don't want to just throw them out and get a new pair to replace them, well, like I said, you can make them last a little bit longer. Mind you, this is one of those things where if the rip is too bad or what have you, yeah, it's better just to replace, you know, at the end of the day. Instead of use that much thread and stuff like this. This is on the cusp of being too much for me to sew, in all honesty. Or what I would consider too much to sew. And then we could do like a little bit of a double up. A double up is when you go over some of the same area that you just did, but in the exact opposite direction. Right? So now we're going down a little bit. again, I have no idea if this makes things better or worse. Like, for all I know, doing a double up like this is like the exact incorrect thing you're supposed to do. Makes the sew a little bit less strong. I don't know. It could make it stronger. All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of the other, the over under, because I want to finish up with this. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And then we're going to actually finish up by doing this. And there it is. There. All right. So this is going to be an example of what that's going to look like at the end of the day after you're done with the entire job, right?
You don't need to get personal, like revealing.
I'm going to pause here for a minute.
To get the State Farm personal price plan, just call it
so that when the music starts playing, because I don't want to put ads on the YouTube video, I'm going to pause like this for a minute, try and stand still, and see, like, for when I cut this eventually, it'll look better for the main YouTube. But hey, how you doing, Twitch highlight watchers and YouTube watchers? Because this is all going to be on the YouTube video, right? But I want to make it, like I said, this is how I make YouTube content sometimes in the future, right? I'm trying not to move too much. Shit.
Click the banner to get your Galaxy Z Flip 4.
Alright. Like I said, an example of how it's going to look at the end of the day when it's all said and done. We got a little bit of thread here we can cut off, right? But look at this. Look at this. Tell me that doesn't actually look pretty damn good. Right? That, you can almost not even tell that it's sewed. And I'm what I would consider not a professional. Take off that little niblet, which is from the pants themselves. And now, we could work on sewing the knee cut. Gonna sit down a moment. Get a knife and slowly cut away at all the excess thread that we're not gonna be able to do anything with, you know what I mean? This right here, this type of stuff, is like, we can't really sew that, so we're gonna have to leave it there, unfortunately, I think. Basically, that's what I'm talking about when I say sometimes it gets too bad. That will eventually thread, like, fray and stuff like that, and it will be too bad for us to actually consider viable anymore. But for the time being, good enough, you know? Gonna do a little bit less thread. than last time. But yeah, this is like one of those situations where normally I'd be sitting down for this, right? Have a YouTube video on in the background or something like that. And at first I thought that's what I was gonna do, but then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Nah. I just don't feel comfortable watching other people's stuff. All right. There's also another tear by the pant seam, like the crotch seam. I don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, we can make some small talk while I do this. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about was how I'm gonna start getting into some of the free games that I got from Epic over the couple of years that I've been getting them. Right? And I'm debating whether or not I want to keep things hush hush until I get the game on, or if I want to be like, hey, I'm gonna be playing this today, or whatever, you know what I mean? I think Saturdays and Sundays, that's what I'm going to, start playing some of the Epic games that I've gotten. But this is one of those things that I thought to do, and I might do this in the future whenever I get a piece of clothing that's got a rip in it or something like that. Maybe I'll stream myself sewing it for a little bit, you know? We'll see, because I've never really seen... This is not going to look... I don't think this is going to look as good as the other one looks. Alright? Because of the way that it's going. But, whatever.
Out Loud and Proud is easier when you know the words. Now you can pull up the lyrics anytime on Spotify and sing your heart out while the words just flow. Plus, you can listen to every song ad-free and uninterrupted with Premium. Get 3 months free now and cancel anytime. Tap the banner to learn more.
Well, that doesn't seem fair. We might actually go back a little bit over this one. Or end it there. Because it would just be a waste of thread to go try and sew the other thing, you know what I mean? Oh shit. Yeah. Well, a little bit of a mess up there, unfortunately, but it'll look good. Yeah, like I said, I'm not the best at this because I can already tell I'm wasting a little bit of thread. Basically, this is where I'm gonna sew to, and that's gonna be that for that. At least for that section. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Same basic principle though. Yeah, you don't want to be, you don't want to pull the thread too taut when you do this, because you'll break the thread. Oh, you're kidding me, right? Damn it. It tied. See, sometimes that thing will tie off and it'll snap for you. It's not exactly what I wanted to have happen, but... not really much I can do about that.
We've got some seriously delicious news to share. Truly Hard Seltzer's best flavors just got even better because now they're made with real fruit juice. That's right, from real pineapple to real strawberry and everything in between. Each can of Truly is made with real fruit juice for a really refreshing hint of flavor in every sip. Wow, they weren't kidding. Grab yours at trulyhardseltzer.com and do it for the flavor. Truly Hard Seltzer with juice from concentrate and with other natural flavors. Truly Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly.
If you're thinking, I should go for a run today, but it looks like it could rain, Sierra says save on epic rain jackets. If you're also thinking, but I can't go out in these beat up old running shoes, Sierra says save on top brand running shoes. And if you're still thinking, but I'm also busy performing brain surgery, well then we say, you really should have led with that. Sierra, let's get moving to your local store, like now. Go!
Alright, so... this will be our last one. Again, there's a bunch of, like... I'm being a little bit lazy when it comes to saving up on the thread. Normally I wouldn't be using this much. I'd be using just enough or barely just enough. But I didn't want to spend 3-4 hours doing this like sometimes it will take me because of how I try. I'm a perfectionist at heart, I guess. I don't know. But this was like to be a quick, easy repair job, you know? This wasn't to be like, oh, it looks perfect, because these are work jeans, and work jeans, while they are useful, are not to be treated irreplaceably. You know what I mean? Like, these are replaceable things. But that's what they're supposed to be. That's what the idea behind work jeans are. My headphones started to slip there. You can see I'm starting to get back into my just fix it section. Because I started to sit down and I started to go lower and lower to my knee. Here, I'm going to do the last section right here, right? That'll help a little bit on the annoyance. But yeah, you're supposed to have a thimble like on your fingers that you mainly utilize for the thread and needle, and that would be my thumb and middle finger for me, right? This one's probably going to do a little bit of back and forth. So apparently everyone's throwing a bitch fit about The Little Mermaid live action adaptation. I don't know why. Personally, I don't really mind whatever they have decided to do for it, you know, because I'm not interested in any of the live action adaptations Disney's making. Because if you really break it down, all these live action adaptations is a money grab, right? Like they're preying on people's nostalgia in order to make more money off of films that were previously released, right? Say what you will, say what you want about how they're made or why they're made or whatever, but for a fact, you cannot deny that they are made to make money, right? And why are they making so much money, and why are Disney keep coming out with more live action adaptations even though each one gets criticized left, right, and center? Well, that's primarily because they're making too much money to not. If they weren't making money, do you think Disney would make another live action adaptation if all of their live action adaptations failed? Hell no. Pinocchio's getting one. Like, all these films are getting live action adaptations because they're going to bring in a lot of money, right? Because of nostalgia. It's why, like, when I heard Konami was working on a beloved franchise edition, I was worried, or am worried, that it's gonna be like this is gonna be interesting. Right there, it needs to go like that. Okay. Anyways, because like if it's I need my thimble down. Or it can have completely disappeared. It seems to. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, because like Metal Gear Solid, I don't know. They could make a Metal Gear Solid game, I guess, and it could be just as good, but they've proved in the past that they can't. You know what I mean? Like, they proved that they cannot really make a Metal Gear game. Or at least they could, if they weren't too worried about profits over the game itself, you know? This might be messed up, but I hope it's not. Anyways. Like, they can still make a good game that will make them profits. That's the big thing they need to do, though, because I'm not buying a new Metal Gear game unless I've heard from a bunch of different people or see for myself that it's good. If it's Saints Row, I mean, not Saints Row, Silent Hill, my apologies, Saints Row, they fucked that up. Or apparently they fucked that up. People were not pleased about that game for whatever reason. I've watched a little bit of a playthrough of it, and it was from an individual who isn't going to complete it because it's just bad. And in all honesty, from what I've seen, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like story elements that don't make sense and stuff like that. Love how I'm using a pair of nail clippers as a pair of pliers right now to pull that thing along. We got a little bit more to do and then we're done. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, though. Anyways. This is why you gotta have a thimble for stuff like this. Alright, this is where we're going to tie it off. Or at least try to.
From shoes to movies, it's natural to want choices. And with the Energy Choice program, customers in the Dominion Energy Ohio service territory can choose their own natural gas supplier. You might even be able to join an aggregated group buying program. Don't want to choose? No problem. You'll still receive natural gas from an approved supplier at Dominion Energy's default rate. Just visit DominionGasChoice.com to learn more. Dominion Energy. Actions speak louder.
Hey, this is Christmas Wera, and my new single is out now.
The Pittsburgh International Jazz Festival is back, September 16th through the 18th at Highmark Stadium. Join us for the Ron.
Again, waiting for the commercial to be over so I could finish this up.
Lettucey, Samara Joy, Average White Band, and so many more. Festival tickets and tickets to the legendary Taste of
Here's another look in what I'm talking about. This is my green mug.
PittsburghJazzFest.org. That's right, PittsburghJazzFest.org.
Alright, now we are done with our sewing for the evening. I'll clean this stuff up and all that later. In the meantime, let's take a look at how well we did, right? So, we turn ourselves back inside out, right way. And you can kind of tell over here at this corner, right? But it's not that big of a deal. And like I said, this sewing this would have been a no-no. So actually, it's the left pant leg, my bad. But it looks right on your end. But yeah, as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. You can kind of tell, like I said, over here. Right, you can tell that there's a little bit of a problem over there. But looks good. And that is that. Making sure I can't seem to see the other sew. So I will allow that to be. Alright. Well, that was kind of a little bit not too explanatory. But it was to give you a general idea of, like, just you do a little bit of an S-type pattern, right, with the thing. And then you can, like, use that S-type pattern on pretty much anything. Like, this is deer leather. My dad actually made this sheath and this knife out of the deer bone. And he did, like, the S pattern. I don't know how well it comes out, right? But the way the S pattern works is it, like, goes in at this end, comes out at this end, so on and so forth. It's a little bit more than that, but it's basic. Like, the S pattern goes like whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I'm saying? That is what you can just do to sew your little nicks and necks and stuff like that. Make it last just a little bit longer. With all that said and done, that is going to be it for me for the time being for you. I don't really do content like this. I do a lot of gaming content more so than others, but occasionally an idea will pop into my head, or I'll have something on hand that I could do, and then I'll be like, alright, we're going to sew today on stream for a little bit. Anyways, you can catch me on Twitch at 6 p.m. EST EDT every single day, at least for the year of 2022. Turn the green screen back on. Anyways, 6 p.m. EST EDT every single day for the year of 2022. The links will be down in the description below for YouTube, and exclamation point links for highlight watchers over on Twitch. Either streaming links or all my links, it doesn't matter which one you use. It'll take you on over to all of my associated sites, including the aforementioned. Be sure to use the invite link to the community Discord to always get the most accurate notifications of whenever I do go live. If I'm going to be a little bit late or early to a stream outside of a half hour or so. And as long as I know I'm going to be late. And whatever else catches your fancy. Until next time, YouTube and Twitch highlight watchers, take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.